Hello and good day. I hope you're having a beautiful day. This is Elmira Hinton, the RN Health Coach and creator of Nurse's Notes by Elmira, and I appreciate you jumping on and listening today. I have just a brief conversation that I want you to really consider and think about, because I just had an extensive conversation with someone that was trying to decide if they wanted to work with me. And really what it came down to was whether or not they wanted to step out of their comfort zone and make the big change. So again, I will tell you, my name is Elmira Hinton. I am the RN Health Coach. I have been a registered nurse for over 40 years. And currently I specialize in helping people move away from unhealthy habits. You know, those nagging noises about food, weight loss, smoking, things like that. And in today's episode, I just want to briefly touch on the subject of change and how difficult it can be and why it's so difficult. So during this conversation, we touched on a lot of different topics, but the main one that resonates with everybody is that the reason change, and that's changing your story or changing your unhealthy habit, is so difficult is because it's within your comfort zone. Now remember, I've told you before, habits live in the unconscious mind. They were put there as an efficiency, so you don't have to keep relearning something, the same thing over and over again. And I've given the example before of like brushing your teeth. You know how to brush your teeth. You don't have to learn how to brush your teeth. You don't have to relearn how to walk. You get up, your legs started moving, you know how to walk. That program is already there for you, and that habit is put there as an efficiency. So you don't have to relearn it every single time. And you can address that same thing with habits. The unconscious mind does not know if a habit is good or bad. It just knows that it's there, and it reaches out for that file whenever it's needed to keep you, as it feels, safe, because it's a habit. And that habit has kept you comfortable and safe before, so the unconscious mind will reach for that habit every single time a situation comes up. Again, if you're an emotional eater, if you're someone that hears a lot of food noise, that awful chatter about the French fries coming or the donuts calling you from the kitchen, or, you're needing or feeling that urge to smoke, that's all out of a habit. Because when something comes up that is stressful, and we don't know what that's rooted in, and that's what I specialize in, getting to the root of why that habit was developed. And that's different for every person. I don't know why emotional eating or smoking or anxiety, not feeling good, comes up when a stressful situation occurs. But that problem is laid there rooted. And it's covered up with the emotional eating or the smoking or the anxiety. It's covered up. Okay. So you go and you get that donut, or you eat that hamburger, or you have that drink, or you smoke that cigarette, and somehow you feel some kind of relief from that. Even though physically it's not really helping you, it's making you more unhealthy, but the unconscious mind sees it as a release from that stressor, if that makes sense. And if it doesn't, please put something in the comments so I can address that. But I just want you to understand that that's really how these habits or these stories come about. Okay, they're put in place to block something or to give you release from something that is stressful, and that's how you learn to handle it. Okay. And so what I specialize in is working with you to untie that habit, untie that story. And sometimes in hypnosis, we call them knots, because they're just tied up, and they keep you going around in circle and circle and circle again, and not getting you to where you want to go. So when we work together, we work to untie those knots, okay, so that whatever it was rooted in, if it was rooted in making you feel better in a stressful situation, we'll figure out through your own conscious choices how to relieve that knot, so that you can make better decisions and choices that you see as healthy for you and move in the direction that you want to go, and not necessarily stay stuck in that same pattern or same habit over and over again. That's not allowing you, and that's key. It's not allowing you to move towards that goal that you want. Okay. Your goal may be, I don't want to smoke anymore. Your goal may be, I want to make better, healthier eating choices so that I can feel better, have the energy, get rid of the brain fog, and maybe even lose some weight. But the fact that you feel better and you make a choice instead of a habit that doesn't really support where you want to go. It may have worked, for that one time that you needed it, but it doesn't need to be something that's there every single time, because it's no longer getting you where you want to go. Okay. So just think about that. Those habits, again, your unconscious mind doesn't know if a habit is good or bad. It just knows that it works. Okay. You need to put choice back into your life so that you don't have to necessarily run on habit brain. You can run on the thoughts and the choices that are best for you at this particular point in time, and not something that happened in the past. Okay. And I hope that makes sense to you. So when we're having these discussions and trying to move away from these stories or these unhealthy habits, your unconscious mind is continuously throwing those things out over and over again. Oh, don't do that. You'll get uncomfortable. Don't do that. It'll cost you money. So let's move away from that and go back to where we were comfortable again. Don't do that because it'll be something different, and we don't know what's going to happen. See, another thing about habits is that they allow for predictability. Okay. When you move into something different, when you step out of your comfort zone, you don't always know exactly what's going to happen. But because you're an intelligent person, you should be able to move into something new and different so that you can travel a path that you haven't traveled before to get something that you've not had before. Okay. And untying that knot will definitely help that. It'll put choice back into your life instead of habit, if that makes sense. Okay. So when we look at these things, a lot of times, when we're having these discussions, that habit brain will kick in, giving you all kinds of stories of why you can't move towards that change, because it's not predictable. You don't know what's going to happen. You're going to be uncomfortable with it, again, because it's something different. And it takes about 66 days to put a new habit in place, whether it's good or bad. It still takes that bit of time to lock it in. Okay. So when you're looking at, again, I go back to that story where someone posted, I was going to start my healthy lifestyle today, but this 4-hour drive came up. And so habit brain kicked in. Habit said M&Ms are easier. Habit said, Diet Coke was easier to drink on a 4-hour drive than me taking up my healthy lifestyle then, because I don't know what to do at that time. I know what to do for 4 hours with an unhealthy habit. I know what to do. That's predictable. Diet Coke, Fritos, and M&Ms, they're easy. That's what that story that came up. It's easy. I know what to do. When you go into that change, when you were trying to make that healthy lifestyle change, you didn't know what to do. You had nothing ready. And that's why you need to put choice back into your life so that you can be prepared to make the choices that you want to go in the direction that you want to go. Okay. So I hope this is all making sense to you, with you, and can resonate with you. And please put in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you if this made sense. And of course, share this with anyone who you think it might help also, because I truly believe that when we better understand what's holding us back, what's getting in the way of us moving towards a different pattern, a different story in our lives, we need to understand that habit brain is going to get in the way. That'll be one of the number one barriers that'll get in your way, is because it'll be something new. It'll be something that's not predictable. And the unconscious mind wants to keep you safe, wants to keep everything predictable. So as we begin to untie those knots together, we'll insert choice back in so that you'll say, it's okay. I know I can make this choice. I know that I can figure this out. I don't have to have this habit in my way so that I can't make different choices. Okay? So again, if this episode of Nurse's Notes by Elmira resonated with you, give me a like, leave me a review. I would love it, particularly a good review, and let me know how this episode or any of my episodes have supported you in thinking about making those changes to your habits. Remember, habit brain doesn't know if they're good or bad. They only know that they're predictable and that they've kept you safe. But at the same time, you're an adult and you want to sometimes make changes. You want to go down a different road, and that road will lead to new choices that you want to make, and not necessarily the choices that just habit brain wants you to make. We don't want you to be stuck in that same story. Remember, like I always say, change your story or your habits, change your life. Okay. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope to hear from you very soon. You can reach me here somewhere. If you're seeing this video, there should be a place for you to click or make a comment or DM me, or go to www.thernhealthcoach, and you can book a very short 15-minute call where you can get to know me better, and we can talk about changing your story or changing your habits. You can also find me on YouTube, the Nurse's Notes podcast there, and some of my YouTube videos under the RN Health Coach. Talk to you soon. Have a fabulous day and take care. Bye-bye.